I put my mind to it. Then I got my pen and put my grind to it. Never easy, it was hard from the get-go. Start my obstacles, Jazzy been through it.
You're talking about your sort of your experiences as a state legislator. How has this job changed you? Not just how, over time, how you've sort of adapted to being in this new job and in this, I know that you're an introvert and being in this sort of public eye now, but how has this job changed you and like your internal self?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think that this job has forced me in a positive way to live my values in my work, to seek to have conversations across the divide in a way that I always recognized and said we needed to do, but in some ways I had the luxury of not having to do as much as I now have to in this job. I think in understanding the diverse perspectives, because the only way to be successful in legislating is to convince people, and not just to change their hearts and minds, right? That was the work that I was doing beforehand, sort of the long-term effort of changing hearts and minds, culture change, but rather the short-term effort of passing legislation. You really have to understand where the person is coming from in that exact moment to have any chance of convincing them. And so I think it's forced me to step out of my perspective a lot. It's forced me to have difficult conversations across the divide that I didn't have to do nearly as much. And I think that has enhanced me as a legislator. I think it has made me a more thoughtful person. It hasn't changed my values, but it's allowed me to interact, I think, with the world and see the world with even more nuance than before.
Wow, that was an amazing answer. I really like that one. It really sort of touched me because I've never really heard someone sort of talk about, I guess I've never asked those type of questions before, but I've never heard that, especially from other interviews you've been in. So it was a nice little glimpse into your life.
I put my mind to it. Then I got my pen and put my grind to it. Never